Hi guys, today we're talking about the third way of solving systems, which is by elimination. And it's exactly what it sounds like. So this strategy is eliminating or removing a variable in the equation to solve one variable at a time. You guys will see what that means shortly. So, step 1, number the equations. We should be good at this by now. So we have equation 1 and equation 2. We're using these equations. Step 2, circle which variable you want to eliminate or remove. Now, what does that mean? So, if I look at my equations here, I see 5x and an x here. I have a negative 2y and a negative 2y, and then I have a 4 and a negative 4. So what this means is pick one of the variables. Remember, variable is either x or y in these equations. Those are the only two that show up. Pick one that you want to eliminate. And I'm going to pick the y variable. Y is what I want to eliminate. So I'm going to circle the term that has the y in it in both of these equations. The reason why I'm choosing this is once we get to step 3 and step 4, we'll see that it's actually much easier to choose the variable that has terms that look similar. So like negative 2y show up in both equations. So it's going to make it easier to eliminate. X and 5x, I can eliminate x eventually. I could if I wanted to, but it's going to require a little more work. So always choose the variable that looks similar, has similar coefficients in both equations. So step 3 is to create matching coefficients for the circled variable by multiplying. Stick with me here. This can get a little confusing because it's not something we've seen before. So my equation 1 was 5x minus 2y equals 4. In case you guys can't see this color. Equation 2 is x minus 2y equals negative 4. First off, I want to eliminate the y. So I need to look at, well, what does my y term have? In the first equation, it's negative 2y. In my second equation, it's negative 2y. Create matching coefficients. Do they have matching coefficients? Do they have matching numbers in front of the y? Yes, they do. This has a negative 2, and this also has a negative 2. So this step, I don't really have to do anything. Okay. Step 4. Do the circled numbers have opposite signs? That means, is one of them a negative 2 and is one of them a positive 2? So let me backtrack to step 3. I'm sorry. Create matching coefficients. We mean, is the number, let's forget about the sign, is the number the same in both of them? Yep, this is 2 and this is 2. So step 3 is fine. Step 4. Do the circled numbers have opposite signs? Was this a positive 2 and then this was a negative 2 or vice versa? No. So if not, multiply by negative 1 for one equation. That means I'm just going to choose equation 1. I want to get this to be a positive 2y so that it's opposite with this negative 2y. So what I need to do is I'm going to write my equation, 5x minus 2y equals 4. Put the entire equation in parentheses. Yes, the entire equation. And I'm going to multiply by negative 1 to every single term in my equation. Because you have to do it. If you do it to one thing, it has to happen to every single term in an equation to keep it balanced. So negative 1 times 5x is negative 5x. Negative 1 times negative 2y is positive 2y equals negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Have we gotten opposite signs now? So let's take a look. I wanted to isolate y. So I have a plus 2y. That's my term with the y. And then here I have a negative 2y. Are they opposite signs? Yep. Positive, negative. And are they the same number that's next to it? 2 and 2? Yes. So here comes the magic. Step 5 is to line up the equations. Okay, so that means I'm going to now use this equation that I just did work on. So I'm going to write that down. Negative 5x plus 2y equals negative 4. That's the equation I'm lining up. With my second equation, I didn't do any work to it, so I'm writing it as it is. X minus 2y equals negative 4. They're lined up. That's step 5. Step 6 is to add the two equations to form one equation. What's happening here? This is the elimination step. You're going to see a variable being eliminated. So when I add these two equations, I'm taking everything and I'm adding them up. Take a look at what happens. Negative 5x plus x. I'm going to make this into a bubble so that we can just write it in the bubble. Negative 5x plus x. This is basically an imaginary 1. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4x. Okay? The next two terms I'm adding up. Positive 2y plus negative 2y. Ooh, positive 2 plus a negative 2? Those are opposites. They cancel out. That ends up being 0. Okay? So I'm not going to write the 0 there, but they just cancel out. Those terms go away. I'm bringing down my equal sign. Negative 4 plus negative 4. Now, don't fall into the trap. That is not 0. Negative 4 plus negative 4, they're the same signs, is going to be negative 8. Good. I've just added the two equations to form one equation. So now moving forward, this is my one equation that I'm going to use. Okay, I should have drawn a bubble in this last piece. That's what we did. We did negative 4 plus negative 4 to get negative 8. So my new equation that I'm going to work with is negative 4x equals negative 8. What happened to this term? Remember, it canceled out, so there's nothing there. Negative 4x equals negative 8. So step 7 is to solve for the unknown variable from this equation that I got. What's that unknown variable? Well, there's only an x here. So I'm going to get x by itself. And there's a negative 4 next to it. The inverse operation I need is to divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4 on both sides of the equation. And then we get, these negative 4's cancel. Now I have x is equal to negative 8 divided by negative 4 is positive 2. Step 7, I just solved for the unknown variable. That's good. Am I done? Do I have the solution to my system? No. A solution to a system is an x, y coordinate. If I have the x value, now I need to find the y value. So I'm not done yet. So step 8 is to use the answer that I just found, this one, x equals 2, and substitute into an original equation. This sounds a lot like yesterday's steps for substitution. So we're going to take x equals 2. Let's pick one of these equations up top, the very top. Again, equation 2 looks a lot easier, so I'm just going to pick equation 2. So let's copy down equation 2 here. Equation 2 was x minus 2y equals negative 4. And I'm substituting the x equals 2 everywhere there's an x in this equation. And now x only shows up once. So instead of writing x, I'm going to open up a set of parentheses. That's where I'm going to put my 2. Then let's copy down the rest of the equation. Minus 2y equals negative 4. What am I replacing x with? I'm replacing it with 2. Because I said x is 2, so if I plug it in for x, that's going to help me find the y. So plug in 2 for x, and now I can rewrite this equation as 2 minus 2y is equal to negative 4. Step 9 is to solve for the unknown variable. What's the variable I'm solving for? the y, because I already have the x. So to get y by itself, circle the y, I have a negative 2 around it, and I have a 2. I'm going to move my work over here, okay, so don't get confused. I'm just copying down 2 minus 2y equals negative 4. I'm trying to get y by itself. There's a negative 2 around it, and then there's a 2. So first, I need to eliminate my outer bubble. This positive 2 needs to be subtracted on both sides. I'm lining up with negative 4 because it's a like term. This cancels. Now I have negative 2y is equal to, what's negative 4 minus 2? That's negative 6, in case you guys can't see it. Okay, now, is my y solved for? No. Got one more step, guys. I need to get y by itself. There's a negative 2 around it. Inverse operation I need is to divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. So now, y is equal to, the negative 2 is canceled, y is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2, which is positive 3. Am I done? Yeah, I have an x, I have a y. So step 10 is to write our solution. And remember, our solution is an xy coordinate. We're talking about systems. So the solution to my system, or to this system, is, well, x equals 2 and y equals 3. I like to write that on top so I remember that the coordinate is 2, 3. We got these from solving, all these steps in between. We're going to work more on this in class. Make sure to bring this homework packet, and we're going to work more on this on Monday, so we're going to get tons of extra practice. Please write any questions below, and I'll see you tomorrow.